What's going on, everyone? We are back with some more Bleach, and today we are finally tackling a tier list. We are going to do the arcs, and honestly I didn't really know when I was gonna do these, but I saw some people doing it in the court and I was like, hey, I kinda want to do one of those. And before we even start, I already know this is probably gonna be biased. Like, I'm probably gonna rank them pretty high because I honestly enjoy Bleach a lot, so we'll just have to see. But let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first arc we got is the substitute arc. I'm probably gonna look over the episodes just to get a little refresher and make sure I don't really miss anything, hopefully. So this was the very beginning of Bleach. We got to see how Ichigo became a Shinigami. I still remember episode 1. You know, it started off with Rukia jumping off in the distance with the precipice of defeat in the background. What a beautiful OST, and I stand by this. And I don't know if any show will change my mind, but Bleach has the best OSTs in the game. You know, until I could be proven wrong, that is my opinion for the rest of my life. But, you know, of course, this arc, I think at some points in the beginning it was pretty slow, but it has to explain Bleach so everything in the future makes sense. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy early 2000s Bleach with the black bars, the old art style and everything. I remember during this time I was having the time of my life watching Bleach. You know, I would come home from school, get straight on it, watch some good old Bleach. But here we did meet the Karakura Town Squad, Orihime, Sado. We even saw the introduction to Mr. Boo-ha-ha-ha, what am I doing? Ashida. We met him, and I thought this was super dope. I've known that Bleach was all about swordsmanship. I love swordsmanship in anime, so I was looking forward to watching Bleach. And just seeing, you know, Ashida, someone that uses a bow and arrow, I thought was cool. And they already had like a little rivalry. And it's crazy how far it's gotten. Like, look at 1000-Year Blood War right now. What are we about to see in Core 2? Quincy's versus Soul Reapers. Ichigo versus Ashida. I really hope you guys are caught up because I just spoiled something crazy. But you know, just seeing that rivalry, I thought was super dope to see the clash of Quincy's and Shinigami. And whenever we got that introduction, it definitely picked up the pace. We did see Ichigo versus Renji. We got some people from SS pulling up to get Rukia back. And oh my goodness, the start of a beautiful rivalry with Ichigo and Byakuya. I remember seeing that flash step walk by for the first time, and that shit was amazing, bro. I knew Byakuya was gonna be that guy. I do remember during this time I hated Byakuya. I was like, why are you willing to let them execute your sister? Like, you have no love for your sister, no remorse or nothing. And we also did get an introduction to a great teacher, Urahara, one of my favorite characters. You know, just the big brain plays out of him. I love it. And we did see a little masked up Ichigo. That being said, I think I would put the substitute arc in the good category. You know, I still enjoyed the arc, but you know, it was aight. So this is a novel. I don't know about that. The Hell arc, I heard a lot of you guys saying you hope that they come out with the anime, which would be dope to see. Next, Soul Society. Soul Society. There is one option and one option only. Good old Peak. What an arc to hit right after the beginning of Bleach. Such a strong arc. So much happened in this arc. I need to get straight to the list. Let's see. So, this is when we start going in SS. We gotta save Rukia. You know, we meet a lot of cool faces. You know, Kakushiba, all the captains and lieutenants. And, you know, another big reason I love Bleach is it's got a crazy roster of characters. There's so many likable characters in this show. You know, sometimes when I watch anime, I only like, you know, like 3 characters or something. But in Bleach, you just rock with all of them. Even the villains, bro. I remember when we first got to meet the captains, I was like, these are some badass dudes. You know, they look cold as hell. They look dripped out and everything. And then we saw like Ikkaku versus Ichigo, and we just kind of saw Ichigo's progression throughout this arc, and it was just a beautiful sight to see. We also did see kind of a rivalry with Renji and Ichigo, because that was his first fight technically, but then Byakuya had to step in. We had Aizen staked to the wall in Soul Society, which would turn out to be one of the biggest plot twists in history. And can we talk about how Gin was one of the craziest instigators in this arc, bro? He was just trying to blame everything on Toshiro, was gaslighting Momo crazy. It was just, oh my god. Saw Kenpachi versus Ichigo, amazing fight. It was honestly surprising because Kenpachi was such a powerhouse. You know, Kenpachi, like, Ichigo couldn't even cut him at first. And to see that it turned out in a draw, and now we know why. It's like Kenpachi was held back and everything, but honestly, I was like, damn, Ichigo, you really getting nice, man. Once again, we see a little clash with Ichigo and Byakuya. That was dope. Ashita versus Mayuri. Ashita was cooking. That was an amazing fight. He was whooping Mayuri's ass straight up. Turned that boy into a donut. Byakuya used bankai on Renji. Oh my god. This was a crazy moment. We got to see bankai, bro, at Byakuya, one of the best in the show, and he obliterated him. Literally, like, staked him to the ground, I'm pretty sure. We saw a brand new Ichigo save Rukia with the cape and everything. He had the drip on, and he just was sunning everyone. He was just feeling himself, you know, was taking out the lieutenants like Chojuro and everything. This is when he learned bankai, then he used it on Byakuya. Once again, one of my favorite rivalries in the show. They just kept on going at it. We saw he used bankai on that man, really opened up Byakuya's eyes. He's like, hey, he's not the same kid that he was before. And this is when the hollow broke out and completely just went ape shit. And then the betrayal of Aizen. Wow, bro. Wow. You know, I should have expected it. You know, he was just too genuine. They kept on talking about him too much. And then the whole getting staked against the wall, like, bro, that motherfucker's a captain. Like, that, it shouldn't be that easy. And you know, Aizen was just catching Zanpakutos with one finger. He was sunning everyone. He was putting on a show. And then he left. And then that was all Soul Society had for us. You know, I did forget one thing while recording. Byakuya did save Rukia from Aizen. What am I doing right now? But he did save Rukia from Aizen, and it really showed a different side to him. We saw the whole backstory with his sister, and this is when I came to really love Byakuya. You feel me? Next, we got the Arrancar Arrival, and I got put this in amazing and great. There was a lot of amazing moments in this arc. Of course, Ikkaku's bankai. I didn't know he had that shit on him, bruh. That shit was crazy. You know, he completely bodied that Arrancar. But this also did start another amazing rivalry with Grimmjow and Ichigo. Also, we did get to meet Shinji. And Shinji was such a cool ass dude. I do remember they even hinted his whole inverted world. Like, there was just one episode, like, I think at the very end, he was just walking upside down. Back to Ichigo and Grimmjow. Grimmjow was just a menace. He was just out for blood. He straight up bodied Rukia when he came down. And oh my goodness, he was giving Ichigo the ass whoopings of a lifetime. Just, I swear he whooped his ass like 6 times in this show. And, you know, they just kept on going back and forth and back and forth. Every time, I was just never tired of it. You know, it was just a sight to see. Like, I was hyped seeing the whole altercations between them. And we also did get to see some more espadas, you know, Yami and Ulquiorra. Ulquiorra's design was beautiful. Throughout this arc, there was only 21 episodes, but I would say every episode was pretty good here, you know. I was really just like hooked in with these episodes. For number 4, we got Jojo Mundo. And before I rate this arc, I kind of want to look over the episodes, because if this is going all the way to the past arc, this is going to cover like, you know, like a fourth of the show. So we start off with another clash, you know, Grimmjow v Ichigo, but this time he was learning holification, and he could only hold it for like 7 seconds, so he got a big blow, and then we got another ass whooping, but Shinji came to save the day, and of course, the fire ass OST he has, he was just cooking, and then Ulquiorra did save Grimmjow, they bounced, and I'm pretty sure this was the moment he lost his arm, he lost his spot to Loopy, then whooped his ass, straight up put a hole in that man. Next we are hit with the fallen Espada. We saw Sado, Ishida, and Ichigo were all in a fight with one of them. You know, I still remember this guy talking about Ichigo being El Nino and all that. And I can't even lie with you right now. Ishida versus Sarusi, or however you say her name, the purple haired girl, that is probably the worst fight in the show. I don't know, for me at least, I thought it was pretty boring. I didn't really rock with it, like it was but out of all the fallen Espada, I definitely think Sado had the best fight, because with that we saw he was learning some new moves. We even saw that crazy move, I forgot the name, where he like bangs on him and then it creates that skull in the wall. But Sado, I actually enjoyed his fallen Espada fight a lot. We also did see what's his name, Eren Nero, you know, versus Rukia, you know, completely just manipulated, gaslit Rukia. That was also a pretty good fight. We did see a lot of altercations with Ichigo and Ulquiorra, which was also another great moment to see. We did see the big reveal of rank 4 Espada Ulquiorra. You know, this was a big reveal just to see how crazy he truly was, and then it closes it out with good old Ichigo versus Grimmjow, the final battle. This fight was nice because it was way more even. You know, Ichigo was just completely getting manhandled and his ass whooped before, but this time Ichigo really showed what he was made of and was able to take out Grimmjow with the whole resolve. My rating for Jojo Mundo, I would probably say good also. I feel like it started off pretty good with the clash with Grimmjow and Ichigo. Then in the middle, it was like with the fallen Espada and everything. But then it closed off strongly with the reveal of Ulquiorra and the fight with Grimmjow. I don't know if we count these episodes where we, you know, see grown-up Nell, you know, see that she was a former Espada, and then seeing the captains arrive in Jojo Mundo, and then them taking out some of the Espada. If we do, then I'm definitely putting this arc in amazing, because like whenever we got hit with Nell and all that stuff, you know, it was just peak. Like every episode was a banger. So if we count this, the arc whenever Kenpachi pulls up to fight what's it called, Noitra and everything, and all those guys, I would probably put Jojo Mundo in A. But if we stop at Grimmjow, I would put in good. Number 5, we got the past arc, and I think I'm gonna put this in great. You know, I did enjoy this arc a lot, you know, going back in time to see how old SS was and see who the captains, lieutenants were. You know, it was cool to see all those faces and everything, and just see, you know, young Jin and how Aizen set everything up. And this also did kind of show another rivalry with Shinji and Aizen. Crazy piece, Shinji already didn't have trust in Aizen. And I still remember that one scene where he like opened where he was hiding. That shit was fire, bro. Like, he was like, why you watching me or whatever. And also we saw how the whole holification process worked, and you know how Urahara caught a stray. You know, he got blamed for everything. And you know, there was still one scene where I think it was Shunsui, and it was showing like Aizen walking, and he was just like holding like some bed sheets or something like that, looking like a good old captain, but he was causing havoc, bro. They were all under his Kyoko Sugetsu. The fake Karakura Town arc. Another peak arc. This had so many great moments. We witnessed Hisagi vs Findor. This fight was insane. Like, the fight before it wasn't anything crazy. It was just normal Bleach, right? It was the Battle of Beauty between the unicorn guy. Was he a unicorn guy? I don't know. And Yumi. But then they just switched up the animation and they just were cooking with this fight. They made Hisagi in action look amazing, bro. And honestly, he is probably my favorite lieutenant in the whole show. Then we saw the Tres Bestias. We saw that boy they created Ion, and Yama came in there. You know, the first sneak peek of Yama, bro, I was just speechless. He was putting on a whole show for us. We got the big reveals of the final rankings of the Espada. You know, 3 being Halabel, 2 being Bargon, and 1 being Stark. That like scene with him taking off the gloves, showing Shunsui, I don't care, bro. That picture was hard. You know, it was my thumbnail. Oh, that shit was fire. I still remember someone was like, "Oh, you just spoiled it for me." I am sorry, but I had to do it. And plus, like, so many other people, you know, use the same thumbnail as me. You know, it's not just me. This arc, we had all the fights with the Vasto Lordes. Ulquiorra, oh my goodness, one of the best espadas. The resurrections were just phenomenal. I remember the first fight with them. Ulquiorra completely just dominating. Then we see Vasto Lorde Ichigo. Easily the best form we've seen in Ichigo. And then he just gives it right back to him. Ichigo's just completely dominating Ulquiorra. I would love to go back and watch this fight. Toshiro vs Halabel was pretty good. Baragon's Resurrection was beautiful. I did not expect to see that whole, like, you know, skeleton, like the dead. Oh, that shit was beautiful. He easily has one of the best. He has the best design in the Espada, like for the Resurrection. Like, the others were cool, don't get me wrong, but his is just next level. You know, the king of Jojo Mundo. It's cool to see the Visors come, the whole reunion. Even though they have bad blood with SS, they came to help out. The fight with Shunsui and Stark, what a fight. I enjoyed this a lot. I loved the Ceros. He had the Blix, which was sick, because everyone else, you know, they had their own thing, but he had a gun, which was something new. The end of this was heartbreaking. You know, when he lost, what's her name, Lily? Oh, bro, like, you could hear the sadness, you know, when he was screaming for her name and everything. Like, oh, his whole thing was loneliness, but, oh, bro, I felt so bad for him. And then he got stabbed and just fell to the ground. Oh, bro, he's honestly one of my favorite Espada, definitely top 3, but, you know, he just wanted to be around people. He joined the Espada just so he would have people surrounding him. We saw Tosin with his holification. He was pretty clean with it. His fight was alright, but the heartbreaker at the end, you know, with Komomura and Hisagi talking to the real Tosin, he could actually see that Aizen just completely decimated him, got him out the picture, and then this started one of the best episodes in Bleach. Aizen versus everyone. Aizen for himself, taking on all the captains. He was soloing, bro. He was just making everyone look like a fool, bro. And I still remember the moment Ichigo was yelling at the people of Soul Society. I think it was the moment when he stabbed Momo, right? And he's like, "That's not Aizen." And you just see the shock on all the captains. Dude. And it was Toshio that landed the blow on something that he was trying to protect. You know, it caused a rage out. All the captains, they just came at him one by one, and he just cut everyone down. This really showed how strong Aizen is. And going back to the whole rivalry beef with Shinji versus Aizen, he was the one, I'm pretty sure, that said, how long were you using your Kyoko Sugetsu? And that man with the smart ass response, when did you think I wasn't using my Kyoko Sugetsu, bro? He's him, bro. Aizen is him. Aizen vs Yama, you know, it was dope to see more of Yama. We saw Ishin Urahara. He combined with the whole Yoku, turned into this god of a character. The Jin betrayal. Like, you would never expect Jin to betray Aizen. Like, he was literally his right hand man. He didn't even give any hint that he would betray him. Like, he even almost packed up Hiyori to, like, you know, show his worth, bro. Just hit him with a good old backstab. And it was sad because he did it all to protect Matsumoto. Then to close out the arc, we got Ichigo vs Aizen, the final Getsuga Tensho. That man, Ichigo, came out the precipice world looking different. Had the long hair. You know, he wasn't even smiling. He saw some shit that he didn't want to see. He was cold as hell. He didn't even talk that much. And Aizen was just, you know, yapping, talking about how he was him. And he definitely got humbled real quick. Ichigo was just putting on a show. And this was one of the best fights in Bleach. The last slash, the last form of Ichigo with the black long hair. Beautiful sight to see. And then we saw the very end with Aizen's kind of final rebuttal, talking about, like, you seriously, you know, follow the Soul King and everything. And I assume we're gonna see some stuff tie into that in the future with $1000-Year Blood War. But what this arc was phenomenal. Just all the clashes we saw with the Espada, the Vasto Lordes. It brought us so many great moments. The good old Fullbringer Arc. I would put this in amazing. I remember a lot of people were saying, like, oh, you might not like this arc, or oh, a lot of people have mixed opinions, like it's not that good, you could just skip it. But a lot, like majority of you guys were like, you gotta watch it, just don't listen to what anybody says. And I enjoyed it a lot, actually. You know, it had a lot of good moments. I definitely loved the vibe of it. You know, it was like you guys were saying, it was like a murder mystery. And it was like a detective. You know, you really had to put your mind and think, like, what's really going down here? You feel me? The executions hideout was cool. We got to meet some cool characters. Tsukishima, the big brain plays out of him. And then whenever they just put everyone against Ichigo, that shit was crazy, bro. Like, Tsukishima gaslit, manipulated everyone. And I just felt the frustration Ichigo was having. Like, oh, bro, like, no one believed him. No one believed him. He literally had his back against the wall. Once again, though, Tsukishima's ability was phenomenal. They even said Tsukishima beat Aizen, which that shit was crazy, bro. But we did close out with Ichigo vs Ginjo, which was a great fight. This arc did also have the better animation, so that fight was looking amazing and had one of the best bankais in it for sure. Alright, last but not least, $1000-Year Blood War. Easily peak. And if I had to choose one from the top, let's say I can only choose one peak, I have to say $1000-Year Blood War. You could be saying, like, oh, you've only seen Core 1. That's enough, bro. Like, Core 1 was literally a movie. I've never been looking forward to a day more than in my life than Mondays. Like, I was just on the edge of my seat for every episode. It was a phenomenal course. So many great moments. Like, the pacing was so good. You literally felt like you've watched like 50 episodes because so much was happening. just seeing Bleach in modern animation is a treat of its own. You know, seeing the whole clash with these sternritters, Quincy's versus the Shinigami, you know, sternritters completely just obliterating them in the first war. It was a phenomenal arc. You know, we got to see Yama go crazy, like, you killed his right hand man, and thank God he got back on that Kentucky ass sternritter in the dub at least. But yeah, no, I'm so glad he got back. Like, that moment felt so amazing, just him flying through SS to fight Yuaba, amazing. And just seeing Yuaba with his 6'7" ass, should have went to the league ass, go take out my goat. It was something else, bro. It was something else. You know, Ichigo versus Yuaba was a crazy fight. And oh, Kenpachi versus Unohana. How could I forget? You know, we got the reveal. She is the first Kenpachi. Just seeing that Kenpachi was holding back, it just leaves this anticipation for Core 2. What is Kenpachi's limit? Like, all I can imagine right now is, you know, Kenpachi. We saw what Yama was doing with his bankai. He touched the ground, bro, just completely leveled the ground. That's what I imagine Kenpachi's about to be doing. He's about to be an unstoppable force. Like, in this next war, he is gonna be a problem for these sternritters. But yeah, it was a great fight just to see two people that love fighting just go at it. Minazuki was such a sick bankai. It really showed why Unohana is so frightening. And, you know, Shunsui becoming head captain. That's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see his moves in Core 2. And then we get hit by the flashback arc. Everything but the rain. Just to see Misaki and Ishin, their relationship. Seeing her go, it was heartbreaking. It finalizes with the truth about Zangetsu. What a reveal, what a reveal. It was honestly a heartwarming moment because they were just trying to protect him, man. Then we saw the news on Pakuto, which I am super hyped to see how he uses that joint. Here is the final finished tier list of all the arcs in Bleach. Like I said before, it was probably going to be biased because I did enjoy Bleach a lot, and thank God, you know, I watched it with you guys. It made it even more enjoyable. Like, it was 1,000 times better. But thank you guys for sticking with me, you know, watching Bleach and joining me. And, you know, it's been a great time. Can't wait to see what 1000-Year Blood War blesses us with. And I'm sorry, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I do apologize. I think it is gonna be hella long, so sorry about that. I was probably yapping crazy. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like down below. If you are new to this channel, please hit that sub down below. I'll see all of you guys on July 8th. Peace out.